next to it and a number. Can you please elaborate and explain that system?
Well, what person and what number?
You say you set your stuff up.
Right.
Because she talking fast.
Let me put it like this. You do a 501c3.
Okay.
Okay. And you putting your identity on your 501c3 as person. As a person. So it's a difference between people and persons. It's a difference between civil rights and human rights. So the question goes, someone may ask, well, when you setting up your corporation, your business, then what you're supposed to be able to put next to that, your identity also. So how do you know anything about that?
Oh yeah, you're just dealing with structuring. You're dealing with structuring. You know, if you in all capitals, then that's a corporate entity or artificial entity. You know, what they call an artificial person. You know, if you write your name the way they taught you in school, first letter capital, the rest of the letters small case, then that's a natural person. You know, or indigenous being. You know, an inheritor of the land. A lot of that is just semantics and it's structure. And this is why you have to always go over them basics, just with structure. That's all you just deal with the English language and
etymology of words.
So you can verify and know that the person they charging is not you. Because if my name is spelled with a capital letter and then small case first name, then last name capital or small case, then all caps, is not me. So I don't owe anything. But oftentimes we will sign our name and don't reserve our rights, which said that you're going to be
the surety for that debt.
For that entity. And so then that's how they can entangle you.
And say, now you got to pay.
And again, if you've been contracted, so then you have to learn the art and science of contracting.
Right.
You know, how to properly contract. How you can, the elements of a contract. So you'll know about the improper contracts that's taking your divine rights and giving you a privilege. So they take your divine rights, which is free. You don't got to pay to do whatever they're talking about. Then they give you a privilege and they want you to pay for whatever they talking about. With the switcheroo on you. And so you got to train yourself to know that, you know, you the creator. And that the necessities of life is your divine right. So you don't have to have any kind of currency to get what you need. And you have to do it under an intelligent tone. So you're not, you know, perceived or manipulated through the media saying that you a low-life criminal, non-taxpayer, you know, rioter. See what I'm saying? They throw,
i.e. Brother Snipes.
Exactly. You know, they throw all of those negative connotations on you, which is just another, what they call it, another diversion tactic. Really, it's a guilt tactic to get you to accept their offer. See, when you're dealing with self-government or sovereignty, you know, nationhood, you are responsible, man, to produce everything. So that's your own documentations, you know. See, we have to set up everything or reconnect with everything that's already been laid out. And so once you can just go into that accelerated method, see what I'm saying, you ain't gonna be getting caught up.
Which brings you to like what needs to be done, reconnecting with our ancestors.
And simple, just reconnecting with each other. See, we have to get excited to have, I'm talking about, you have to go to the frequency as you meet in God right now. See, we got to have that type of joy and gratitude. You know how our people been conditioned, you know, to pray and pray and pray until we put, you know, so much energy in the prayer that, you know, it make things happen. But we applying it inappropriately. So when the creator or creatress show up, we don't know how to acknowledge them and say thank you for my prayers being answered and thank you and hey, okay, boom, let's do whatever we want to do. We'd be in doubt and unbelief and negate ones like, no, you ain't it, you ain't the one. Boom, I want to do this, or I want to do that, or hey, I want to do this, or hey, let's do this with somebody else. And you've been negated your own creation. You the one attracted them to your zone. And so y'all gotta, move forward and do what you ain't been doing. That's your whole faithful, leap forward. You want to do what I ain't been doing. You see what I'm saying? And so it becomes delicate because you got to be serious about your business. If you're ready to, live, a civilized life, have the resources, access to the resources and the things that you need, then we got to make them change and we got to go inside and we got to write this shit out and grind it out. When we do bang like this, you just stay in, because this is training. You stay in record mode and you really just setting up, for the next person. See what I'm saying? That's all that set them. Meaning what? I mean, if they can't go into that unlimited yes zone, I'm talking about whatever, like, hey, let's go to Egypt now. They can't just say, all right, yep, I'm ready to just pack and go. See, they need more training. They need more class.
You have to reschedule with the team.
You got to, because you don't got the time to go back through it.
You can't not go.
And so we get in that frequency just with ourselves and the business that you create. And we have to fixate on, knowing that you got to write. Look at all this stuff that's going on. And of course, we know that if we go through the detail, we'll see that, no, it didn't just happen, in one day.
Right, they've been planning for
Macy's wasn't always Macy's.
Go ahead.
And so the name is all business. And it appears to be different. So we think that, hey, I got to deal with, the federal government, and then the state government, and then the city government, and then the county government. And I'm like, man, it's people in all of the hookups. So you
dealing with people.
That's all. You just dealing with people.
Influencing
others. We learning how to accept. See, that influencing, that comes with the self-government. You got to be able to influence them and have them to do something that, you don't like doing or ain't gonna do. And
they're able to do that with paper.
Exactly. And so when we talk about paper, I'm like, man, it's literally, this is the paper right here. It's all it. They did it right here, and then they converted it into, what was believed to be a valuable substance of paper.
If we didn't believe it, then it wasn't no substance.
Man, it's out of there. The dollar going down every day. We got to get gold and silver.
And then, they're mixing those alloys, so it's not even pure. You have to know who you're dealing with on that.
Right. And so when we stay centered in creation, sis, where we just evolve and advance, we find that the most important thing is to be on what we desire.
Clarify.
You feel me? To be on it. You see what I'm saying? Because as we grow and build with the team, we got to have the system bumping. So we can easily guide and direct the people to what? Handle their business.
Right. Not be out of directed in your business.
Because each one of us got to be able to be capable of holding down on the dolo, but applying the wisdom to go through the group only. You see what I'm saying? Because we got to save ourselves this time. Like I said, so you can relax, you can just, chill and do what you love. Now, once you doing what you love, and loving what you do, like you say, boom, okay, you out the zone. You out of all of the pressures. You out of all the captivity. You in heaven. And so, this whole law piece is just, its structures and its systems. But it's all the same thing. It's some people who you've got to influence.
Say, I'm ready to make a great day.
Say, I'm ready to make a great day. And you see they go to either extreme. They do some of anything and everything. That little article was hot. As we can just see, they in protest mode.
Piece with that Noble Drew ID, was already telling us what was going to go down.
Hey, this is the center. This is connection. You see that, they top U.S.